Hello and happy birthday to all of the beautiful September Virgos out there. Welcome to your tarot card reading for September 2023. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. For those of you who are new, my name is Jane. So these tarot card readings you can watch for either your sun, moon, or rising sign, depending on whichever resonates with you the most. If you are here for love specifically, you are also welcome to check out your Venus sign as well. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your September reading. So let's go ahead here and get started with the card from my intuitive deck. So let's see what comes through for you, Virgo. Okay. So I feel like there are a lot of different paths in front of you right now. And this is one of the things about being in a mutable season with a Mercury retrograde and having Mercury not only in his sign of rulership, but also in his sign of exaltation, right? In Virgo, he's very, very strong, the strongest planet in the chart right now. And Mercury is not a stable planet by any stretch of the imagination, okay? He is all over the place, and with his retrograde, I think that's adding to it as well. Now, what I'm sensing is that Virgo is trying to push off or trying to launch something. You're trying to get one place by pushing off of another, right? There's an area you don't want or a situation you don't like. So you're trying to push off of that to get you to someplace better. It feels like you're trying to leverage a current situation to get you to that other place. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's great. And I like the transitionary quality. It does feel like Virgo is ready to make the transition. I'm not going to say that it's all going to happen perfectly, all wrapped up in a perfect little bow this month, because it will probably take a really long time for that transition to fully close out, for you to realize like, okay, I'm finally at that destination point. But I think I don't know if it's a sense of urgency that you're feeling, like I have to get out of this place. I have to get out of this circumstance. I don't like this about my life. I have to get out. I do kind of like that because it motivates. And it's that motivation that is going to get the balls rolling. Now, we do have Mars in Libra, which is an initiating situation. Okay, Mars being in a cardinal sign, it does want to initiate things. Although Libra is a lot more cool with everything, right? It cools everything down. It's not like a hot, impulsive, like a Mars in Aries or anything, okay? Mars is more controlled, which means I sense, Virgo, you have a greater degree of control. So I don't think you're just going to be launching just for the sake of getting out of a place. You're probably going to stay where you are until you feel that that path is really clear and steady and secure before you officially push off to get to where you want to be. I think Virgo is operating with the assumption, well, not the assumption, but with the kind of demand, if I'm not going to be successful, I'm going to figure out something else. You're not going to do anything stupid. You're not going to do anything that's going to put you in a worse off situation. So I do like the intellectual and logical approach that Virgo is using right now, and their openness to change and their willingness to make that transition, which can be really, really positive. It just is maybe not going to happen as quickly as Virgo would like. So we're going to start with an oracle card this month. I'm just doing things a little different than how I normally do. Okay, so we have the Mouse Spirit, which says tend to the small things. Well, it's a perfect card to get for Virgo season. Also for Virgos, because that's really one of the areas of life that you rule, are the small, mundane, everyday types of things. How do you live your life? How do you spend your time? How do you communicate? How do you talk to yourself? How do you think? What thoughts do you engage with? Right? Those are all the really, really small things that add up immensely over time. If you're looking to get away from something, you're going to have to start making decisions that no longer feed the very thing you're trying to get away from. Right? Like, let's say you have a spending issue. Maybe you're focused on money right now. Well, you don't want to contribute and continue the same behavior that got you in this situation to begin with. So this is about changing the behavior. But first, you might need to change the mindset, change the perspective, change the conversation around something, and then the actions can start to match all the rest. So because it is Virgo, and I would say this regardless of the zodiac sign that I was reading for, the importance of these small things is insurmountable. And this is really where we have a lot of power, but we often underestimate the power of the small choices, right? Waking up, what do you choose to eat for breakfast? What do you choose to do? Do you choose to pick up your phone or go for a run, right? Or do you choose to exercise that day, or do you choose to watch Netflix all day? Or do you choose to do your work, or do you choose to putz around on social media all day? Like, what is it that you're doing? And being hyper aware of the effects and the potential effects and the long-term effects, especially, of all those types of behaviors. So, okay, in the environment, expect powerful change. Well, that's exactly the whole point. The point of the small things, the point of launching off of something is to experience change in your life. It's to experience something else. So many of us are wanting expansion in our life, and we have ever since really earlier this year and late last year when Jupiter was in Aries. Now Jupiter is in Taurus. It's retrograding this month, and there's that internalization of what it is that we wish to experience. For you, it might be a little bit more existential because it's in that 9th house, so it has a more spiritual quality to it. But either way, your life is changing. And this powerful change, keep in mind, it's not necessarily fast. With the small things, the mouse spirit, I guarantee it's not that fast, okay, in the long run. It's going to be a slow and steady movement. But if you realize that this is a month where you can launch off and push off of something you don't want, you can, I don't know, I just feel there's a lot of support for your wishes coming true. There's a lot of support for your wishes coming true, but it depends on how you're communicating with the universe. And the way you do that is through the choices that you make. All right, so 9-card block. What do we see here for Virgo? Exactly 8 of coins, 5 of swords. Now, in the small scale, speaking of small, in the small scale, you may have to confront a lot of these negative narratives, which we often do. Because Mars is in the 2nd house, it's going to add energy to the feelings of self-worth, okay? Do you feel that you truly deserve this change or not? Or do you feel that there is something you must do in order to prove your worthiness for that change? Many of you may be grappling with that. You say, well, I know I can't have that because I'm not this type of person, or I don't work this hard, therefore I can't do that. And there's all of these reasons. For some reason, this 5 of swords is speaking to me like it's reasons. Reasons, justifications, rationalizations, all those types of things. This is your main adversary, your internal dialogue, Jupiter retrograde, Mercury retrograde. The internal dialogue is the adversary. And yet you conquer that through productivity. Now, this does not necessarily have to be a super, super busy month. I'm not sitting here saying you better work your butt off, you have to get up early, you have to do all no. But what I would recommend is doing the things that make you feel like you're alive. Doing the things that make you feel like you're connected to something. Because it's clear to me you're trying to push off of something, and the reason why you're trying to do that is because you're not connected to it anymore. And maybe you were, and maybe it was a really important thing that you needed in your life. Maybe it was a great job for what you needed, or a great relationship, or a great living situation for what you needed at the time. But it's important for Virgo to realize that you've outgrown this. Whatever it is, you've outgrown it. And instead of taking a massive leap and a huge risk, You get to slowly transition into the next. And this is how you do it. This 8 of coins is not focused on the things that you're trying to push off of or the things you're trying to get out of. This is not me telling you, we'll just work harder at the job you hate. This is about redirecting all that passionate and creative energy and focusing it toward the person that you wish to become. Right? Let's say you work a regular 9-to-5 job. It's not really your gig. Maybe you want to go be an entrepreneur. Well, this is you putting that energy into that entrepreneurial idea. You deplete the investment from that is not wanted, and you increase the investment to that which is. And the Ace of Wands, I think, is a fire. It's a spark that is really essential when we have something new on the horizon like this. Now, don't get me wrong, okay? I pretty much talk about the new things with every sign, and the reason for that is because of Pluto. Everyone is on this precipice of like a whole new chapter that's really going to begin in 2025. Even 25 and 26 are going to have some very strange and interesting things happen with the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. But I mean, we're all facing this. But Virgo, it feels like right now in your season, you're feeling that sense of urgency, like I have to do something about this now. Now, if you start with this Ace of Wands, if you start with these small things right now, can you imagine 4 or 5 years from now how far along you'll be? So this is a message to start now, to start investing in the next. And if you don't know quite exactly what it is you want to do, because sometimes that's a hard question to answer, think more about who you want to be. Who do you want to be? And you can define that in so many different ways. You want to be someone who has, financial freedom. You want to be someone who is this or is that. And you can list off characteristics. You can also list off materialistic goals as well. But who is it that you want to be? Because if you invest in who you are, North Node in Aries, chances are the material effects will naturally unfold. But the Ace of Wands is about a fire. It's about a desire that comes in. And sometimes it's hard to shake. Ace of Wands, they kind of get their hooks in you. It's like an obsessive idea sometimes. Like, oh my gosh, I really, really want to do this. I really do. I really want to get out. I really want to, and it's hard to just walk away. Oh, beautiful. I love the 10 of coins. See, even the Queen of Wands, this is the initiative. Queen of Wands is like an Aries card. There's an initiative nature or initiating nature here. Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, you have to align actions in small ways. This does not have to be massively inconvenient. This is about drinking water first thing in the morning instead of that cup of coffee first thing, right? Or, eating one type of food versus another. Or, like I said before, all the little examples, not picking up your phone first thing in the morning. It's about teeny tiny little tweaks. And making those promises to yourself. Because when I see a 10 of coins to some degree does require a lot of self-control to get yourself here. Because 10 of coins, you can't be at a 10 of coins place and also be wasteful. You can't be at a 10 of coins place and also be really down on yourself. This is prosperity in so many different ways. It's not just material prosperity, right? It is family and love and connection and belonging and contributing to the community and doing wonderful things for the world at large and designing and developing and being creative, and all sorts of great things come through here. But you can't engage with your 5 of swords. You can't engage with negative habits and negative narratives, and you can't keep telling yourself how unworthy you are and how unlucky you are and, well, if my situation was different. You can't run those things through your head and still expect to get where you're going to go. This requires belief, first of all, that it's possible. And I think one of the ways that you can convince yourself that it's possible to get there is by starting to become that person who would be capable of getting there. And with the Three of Coins, there's also a collaboration quality here too. Relying on other people, asking people for help, working together, hiring people, getting advice from others. There's a humility that comes through with the Three of Coins too. We need humility to learn new things. We need humility to get us to new places. Because if we think we know everything, probably we're not going to be moving all that much. Because thinking we know everything is just going to keep us right where we are. This is all for the sake of evolution right now. All for the sake of the next chapter and the new beginning. Now, it's not that you hate everything about your life. I'm not trying to suggest like everything is awful, because probably not. Probably there are a lot of things you really, really love about your life. But whatever is lacking or whatever is dissatisfactory, this is probably that time where you say, I am over it. Enough, draw the line. I'm sick of still being here. I'm sick of everything consistently and always being the same. And that's it, right? And get really sick of that. Queen of Wands is someone who does something about her issues. She doesn't just sit and fester. The reason you expect powerful change in your external environment, which is what this card position represents, the reason this is here is because you become the change yourself. So if you don't quite have that goal in mind, but you're looking around at your external circumstances, it would be very helpful to identify what it is that you're dissatisfied about and what you think it will take in order to get you out of that circumstance. Page of Coins is also a really humble card. And I also don't see Virgo getting emotionally invested in anything right now. It's not about emotional investment. It's about, this is what I want and this is what it's going to take to get there, period. That's it. It doesn't require any more than that. It is logical. And even though Mercury, even though the astrology right now is not necessarily supporting normal logic, it is more creative right now. But maybe that's what you need. You need the shakeup in the normal logic. Page of Coins is very much it's an apprentice quality. Think of yourself as an apprentice. You are trying to get here, but you're here, so there's a series of things that must be learned in order to get you here. So you go in as a student. You go in brand spanking new, knowing probably very little. And there's also a quality of erasing what you think you know. And I think anyone who's been through a spiritual awakening is very familiar with that idea and that feeling. Erasing what you think you know. And not necessarily giving a lot of credence to what you believe. For some reason, the word proof is coming to my mind. Virgo, I think you're looking for proof and results in small ways, right? You change one small behavior and you wait and see what the result is. Does it make you feel better? Does it give you more energy? Did you make that money? Did you actually have a good conversation? Did it go well? Did it not? Right? You make one little tweak and then you wait for the results. And then you're going to make another tweak and then you're going to wait for the results. And the results are that feedback that I think Virgo really craves. Maybe this is Saturn opposing you right now. You need the realism of it. I don't think Virgo is going to operate very well of just like, oh, just believe. I don't think that's going to be good for you. You don't want to just be in that like, oh, I'm just going to sit here, I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to believe, and I'm not going to do anything, and I'm not going to change anything, and everything's going to be exactly the same, and I'm just going to sit here and believe that it's going to be so. I think if you did that, you would be creating so much more resistance, because what you would actually be doing is you would be pushing against the person you actually want to become, rather than pushing against your current circumstances that you don't want to be in anymore. I don't know why this image of pushing against something is hitting me so hard with these cards right now. Think about what you're pushing against more than anything. Of all, if you walk away with nothing else from this reading, ask yourself what you're pushing against. Pushing against what you don't want, or pushing against what you do want. This is going to be pushing against what you do want because it's uncomfortable, because it's new and foreign and unknown. But I think, the dissatisfaction, it's really important for you to understand that you've reached capacity with something. That if you keep doing everything exactly the way you're doing, you're never going to get any more out of it. Period. 7 of coins. And it's not to say you haven't gotten a lot out of it, because maybe you have. But can this take you here without the small things, without the behavioral changes, without the attitude changes, without the circumstantial changes? Probably not. So the King of Cups is, I think, your emotional capacity to handle the evolution. And in fact, this is actually not that emotional. This is about being a master of emotion, which means you can have and feel all the things, but not let it rule you and not let it control you. We actually don't have that much water in the chart right now. Okay, we got a couple things in Pisces, but that's really it. And even then, it's Saturn and Neptune, but Saturn, okay, we don't have these deeply watery placements where we're all in our feelings. So it does tend to be a little bit drier. And the dryness kind of makes it easier for us to just kind of get on board with what needs to be done without a lot of pushback. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and clarify and plot the comprehensive cards. So if you want to join me for the rest of the reading, all the info is down below in the description box. We're going to talk for another 25 to 30 minutes about all these new cards. So it's a whole deeper layer to these readings to get more clarification on everything. So let's go ahead and get started with the Mouse Spirit, or what it is the universe needs from you this month. Okay, we've got a Knight of Coals. That's the Virgo card. I love it. Okay, we got some repeats, which is great. And expect powerful change, the environment. What else does Virgo need to know about their environment here? Temperance. Strength. A lot of major arcana for you, Virgo. Okay. Now clearly these want to come for the 8 of coins. We have 4 of cups, 6 of swords, Tower. Beautiful. I love the Tower with the expect powerful change. Star. Another 7 of swords. 3 of swords. There is clearly a shedding of identity going on, okay? It's really important that you understand that. Sometimes we get so locked in to how we identify and how we define ourselves that we don't realize that it keeps us trapped. The Empress, the 5 of coins, Queen of coins, another 10 of coins, lovely. Eight of Wands, Queen of Cups, another 7 of coins, Knight of Cups. The Hierophant, the Sun, Nine of Swords. Okay. All right. So this is where we're going to pick up. All right, Virgo. So if you want to join, again, all the info is down below in the description box. So I hope to see you there, and I hope you have an amazing September. All right. Thank you all so much. Take care. Bye-bye.